And they would come, and now they have to go to the show.
Genius, man.
Oh my God, that's how you get people to shows.
Right. It makes you regional.
Oh my God,
regional distributor.
I would tell them, you want to have Graham? I'll give it to you for $45. It's one rock, but you got to come to the broker at 8:30. Why? What's going on? Just show up there. I'll meet you there. They would walk in. They'd pay the fucking $5 to get in. They'd sit through the show. I'd do the comedy, and then I'd give them the Coke or the Valiums. What a couple. 94, I got into it. 96, I finally start going on the road to different places. 97, Coconut Grove has a club. I keep calling this club, going, I'm Cuban, I want to work the club.
Well, I worked it a lot.
Go fuck you. I know. Go fuck yourself. You can't work down here. Then finally that fucking, the Chinese hot piece of ass, Sarah Nye, calls me. And she goes, I got a week for you. 2 weeks. You got to do Buffalo first, then I'll give you Miami.
That was Alex's girl.
Yeah, that was Alex's girlfriend. The first night before Buffalo, I book a fucking Pennzoil commercial. A mobster was the heat of mafia shit because of The Sopranos. I'm going out every day on a different commercial. I book a around-the-world type of Pennzoil commercial. I call Sarah Nye at 8 o'clock at night, L.A. time. I go, Sarah, Buffalo ain't happening Tuesday morning. She goes, don't ever call me again. I'm like, fuck. I just lost Miami. A year later, they called again and go, we want you down in Miami. And I got to tell you, Ron White, the fucking minute I walked in, everybody kept asking me, do you know Ron White? Are you friends with Ron White? I saw your picture on the wall. I don't know this fucking guy. That went on, and they loved you down there. This is a Cuban club.
Yeah.
And they loved you.
I worked that international crowd pretty well, you know. It was, and I also participated in the fun. I watched people age at an accelerated rate at that fucking club. Because when that fucking club first opened, everybody was fuckable. The guys were fuckable. The girls were fuckable. Everybody was cute. But they're going at it on this blow that they're getting for almost nothing. Every night, every single night, and I would only be there for like 5 days, so I would take a hit, but I'd come back a year, and I didn't do a lot of blow outside of there. I mean, I did some, you know, I did blow, but I didn't hit it as hard as you did.
Oh, I was hitting it.
And but when I was down there, I would fucking go. We spent it. We went to I don't know why I was just so to do the stupidest shit when I'm wired, but everybody wants to go see RuPaul at this huge gay bar. It plays like 2,000 gay men, and RuPaul comes in and does like he had like a song, a hit song on the radio, and he does that song, and then does "It's Great to Be Gay" shit, and cheerleader stuff, and all these guys, and the reason I really remember it is because like the ugliest dudes there hit on me, and I'm like, what? You're not going to send your little Rob Lowe looking motherfucker over here? What? I know I'm kind of fat, but goddamn, I'm not going to fuck you. This ain't going to crack the fucking safe.
Now, what was the whole Mexico thing? Why were you living in Mexico? Fucking, and people will look, every comedy club was looking for you.
Yeah, it was, it's, you know, I was with a girl. I was living on a lake outside Austin, and the Funny Bone Comedy Club realized they could fuck me because they realized that I had so many eggs in their basket that they didn't need to pay me $2,000 a week in air, that they could pay me $1,500 and drop the air. So that's a big cut in pay. So it cost you about $280 to fly around to a gig, something like that. And I was living in South Texas, and or I was living in Austin on a lake, Kingsland, Texas. And my girlfriend made this pottery that was really pretty. It was mosaic tile application to an existing piece of pottery. She'd sell it in art shows. But it'd take her like 6 months to make enough to sell in a day. So I just started thinking, well, you could go down to Mexico, hire a room full of people and teach them how to do this. And so I sold the house and loaded all my stuff up in a biggest thing Ryder sells, and then my van pulling the biggest trailer that they rent. And we traipse off down to Mexico. I don't speak Spanish. I don't know anybody. And first we get in a trailer outside in McAllen, Texas, and it was like a gated golf course trailer park. So it was kind of like high-end trailer living, But my love was for Reynosa, Mexico. I mean, I loved it over there. I used to play a comedy club down in McAllen, and I'd go over there and, you know, fuck whores and whatever. You know, Texas shit, you know, and it's what you do and where you go. So I always had a, you know, like a warm spot in my heart for it. And you know, I go over there and I meet this lady named Irma Munoz, and who speaks a little bit of English, and so I do exactly what I envisioned. That was, you know, we hired these ladies that live in this colonia, and I rented this run-down old tortilla factory and cleaned it up and painted it and shit, and built tables myself. I was in there sweating, you know, drinking Corona and smoking weed that I had to smuggle from the U.S. back into Mexico. I was the only one going that way with weed, and so I got away with it. But I literally didn't have any idea where to buy marijuana in Mexico, because they don't smoke marijuana in the border towns. Not very many people do. So the dealer's on the other side, so you got to bring it back. It's kind of funny. And but anyway, it was you know, it was just an experience. My son, you know, I had joint custody of my son, so from the time I'd been doing stand-up for 3 years, I had a 3-year-old, you know, my son was with me half the time. So I'm in a van with a car seat. I don't know jack shit about raising a kid, but I got part of one. I got it, and so I, you know, and you know, whenever I'm supposed to have him, you know, his mother puts him on a plane, sends him to Mexico, and she was always hip about it. You know, it was probably a good experience for him. So, but eventually, the blue, you know, I'm going out on the weekends with Jeff, and so I'd get on a plane, fly from McAllen to Houston, and then I'd get on a plane from Houston to Atlanta, and then Jeff was leasing jets by then, and then we'd go do, you know, probably 3 cities in 3 days.
And it was just you and Jeff then?
Just me and Jeff, right?
Okay. And what year is this? Let's pretend.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah,
fuck
93, maybe, 93, 94. Okay. So, and then every once in a while I'm doing a pub. I mean, a club, somebody that didn't try to fuck me over. And then also, when I told the people at the Funny Bone to go eat a steaming bowl of fuck, 6 months later they were going, well, wait a minute, you know, we'll pay you the money.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.